Hello everybody, welcome to Nana's Journey. I'm Deanna, and today we are doing the last block of the month. It's been a year and we are finally going to be able to start putting things together, so I'm excited. I'm sorry this is a little late. The pattern came right when I left to go visit my sister, but I'm back and we'll get her done. This is the block we're going to do it. I really like it. These are the fabrics we're going to use. So let me get them cut out and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all my pieces cut out. Here's one set for flying geese. I'm going to do the fast flying geese method instead of what they have you do. In here they have you do the folded corner method. I'm going to do the fast flying geese so I can get 4 at a time. And I like that method better. So since it's not their pattern, I can tell you that this is one 5.5-inch square and these are 4 3-inch squares, and the same with this. And then I will have 4 flying geese of each of these. This is a 3.5-inch square and 4 2-inch squares. And I've got everything marked. These are going to be 2 half-square triangles. This is going to be a rectangle. This we're going to do folded corners, and then we'll have like a corner pop on there. And then these are just some solid blocks. So to mark them, all I did is, if you need to do something like this, you take your ruler and you make sure the line goes from corner to corner. And you mark. Well, most people, I guess, that mark just do it this way. You want to make sure you do the wrong side of the fabric. They will mark from corner to corner and then just sew a 1/4 inch on each side, and they use their presser foot for that. But I've learned that I prefer to sew on the marked lines. So now everything's marked and we can get to the sewing machine. Okay, I'm going to start by taking these rectangles, if I can get one out, and I'll put a square right sides down, the mark, and I'm going to sew right along that line. Okay, now let's check them, see if they're okay. Okay, when you fold this over, you want this flap to cover everything on here. So, and that is going to cover, so that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. And the line, I use friction pins, so the iron will get rid of that. Ooh, all of them are good. Okay. Now we're going to do our half square triangles. Half square triangles. Right sides together. And then I'm going to sew on both of these lines. And then when you're done, you cut in between. And when you press it open, you will have 2 half square triangles. So by doing these 2, we will have 4 half square triangles. We will trim and press those in a minute. Now for the flying geese, you will take 2, and again make sure you got right sides together. And you're going to put them in opposite corners. Okay, now I'm going to cut in between on these flying geese, and I'm going to press these open. I'm going to press these down and trim this off, and I'm going to cut in between here and press these open, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got these cut in half. They were like this. I cut in between the lines, pressed the squares open, and now you have a squared heart. So what we're going to do is take the other 2 blocks, and we're going to put them in the corner. Now after we sew these lines on, we'll cut in between, fold that open, and we will have 4 flying geese. Okay, I'll get these cut, pressed, and then we'll be right back to trim them. Okay, to square up our half square triangles, you want to make sure most rulers have a 45-degree line in there. You want to make sure that goes along your seam, and then you trim. And for the flying geese, I'm using my wing clipper. It's from Studio 180 Designs. No, I'm not sponsored, but I do use a lot of their rulers because I like them. Okay, so I'm going to line the seams up with these V lines. My material is inside of the rectangle. Trim, turn it over, and again make sure I'm lined up there and that my point is at the crosshatch, and trim. And I've got a perfectly sized unit. And it's the same thing with the bigger ones. Whoops. And there we go. These were already to the right dimensions. And so now we can lay out our block and put it together. Okay, that will be our center square. I think I might have to move these up. And this will give us one sawtooth star. And then we make sure these are right side up. Got our little solid squares here. Then we're going to take this flying geese, put it here. Now they don't match up because these are not sewn together yet. The seam allowance hasn't taken in the fabric, made it smaller. Then we put these ones right here, and it will make this V right here like this. That's not right. Sorry. Okay, got that unit together. And then this unit will go like this. Let's see. Down here and down here. These will go here. And I forgot to cut out the 4 squares, so let me get those and I'll be right back. Okay, it turns out I cut them, I just put them back with this extra fabric. Okay, and there we will have our block. So now we're going to put these units together and these units together, and then we'll work on that one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew here, press it open, sew this together, press it open. These I'm just going to sew along here. I don't know if you can see it because it's white, but you've got your seam here and your seam here. And when you sew across here, you want to go across that intersection. And that will give you a nice point. So let's get that done. Okay, the part where I sewed this together didn't get recorded, so I'm sorry about that. But we've got all our units put together. Now we'll just sew them together in rows. We'll just flip it over, sew, press, flip it over, sew, press. And then once we've got the rows done, we will sew the rows together by doing the exact same thing. So let me get that done and I'll be right back. Okay, here it is, block 12, all finished. I have the white sashing around all the blocks so far, but they still need a color sashing. For this block, it will be this navy polka dot. So I will put on the 2 strips on the side, right sides together, sew, flip and press. And then I will do the other 2 sides. So, open and press. And then we will have both sashings on the block. So let me get that done and I'll be right back. Okay, here we have it. Block 12 is all done. Now off camera, I'm going to put the colored sashing on all the other blocks. Also, there is one block that I don't really care for, and I'm going to replace it. So next time we will do that block, we will put the rows together and put the borders on. So I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching.